Hey everybody, my name is Shannon. I'm with the stayatHomeFamily.com. We are really excited about your interest in our Torah portion section. I know we have a whole page on our website dedicated to making the Torah portions really fun and interactive. There's a meal plan that goes along with the Torah portion, a map where you can kind of trace our biblical ancestors' journey, as well as an activity and discussion questions. So we were hoping to make this sort of a 3D, a full body experience for you and your family. So I just wanted to do a quick video to kind of explain how to use that whole section of our website. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to our website. It is the stayatHomeFamily.com, and you will go to the Study at Home section, and under that, go to the current Torah portion. So here we have Shemot, and as you can see, it shows you the Torah portion and the Gospel portion, gives a little explanation and kind of overview of what the Torah portion is about, and then how to use this study. This is kind of our little explanation for why we want to do what is available this week and why we're excited about it. So right here are all of our printables. You'll have a schedule that you can download, and it will go through what to do on different days. Usually it's about 3 days that you need, depending on how fast you are. The first day is usually grocery shopping and just getting your supplies together. So here's the Torah prep, when to do it a couple days before. And it's just like dicing, putting things in the freezer, getting things ready, prep day, all the food that you need to make, and then different activities you can do during the day on the Sabbath. And then here is this complete grocery and supply list. So if you decided you didn't want to make the shepherd's pie, you knew it makes it easy for you to see you do not need to get this column of ingredients. I hope that makes sense. And the last thing we have is the map. And then here we have the discussion questions. And I always have to have some kind of explanation that this is not a checklist. I want you guys to use this as a time to just mull and discover and chat and even disagree. I think disagreeing is great because it makes you think about a different perspective and looking and testing in the word and see what it says. And anyway, here are the questions, and I have it broken down by chapter. When we read our Torah portion, we just listen. And I let the kids color or do something with their hands that's quiet and not distracting and that's not going to use any brain power. And it's amazing how much they pick up. And we'll usually do our discussion questions later on in the day, unless you come to a part and you're like, oh my gosh, guys, what do you think about that? Do you hear what he just said? And then we'll have a pause. And actually, I have to admit, we end up pausing a lot because the kids will say, wait, what? What did he just say? So the discussion questions that we use for a later time, like during meal time, to sort of sit and mull over our portion and what we learned. So here is our map for this week. And you can see it has all the points that are discussed in the Torah portion. So, and down here are very specific instructions. I'll usually try and use as few colors as possible so you don't feel like you have to have a million crayons or pencils or markers out. But each section, as you go through, you can mark, like as you read through the portion, you can say, okay, right now, Exodus 1:11, where are they? And then, go to your map, or you can do this as a later activity at another time. Here, you're going to color in around Goshen, which is right here. You'll color that area in blue. The next thing to do is outline the Nile in red to remind them what happened in the Nile and why it was red. And down here, it says draw a path from Ramses to Midian. And you just realize how long Moses ran. It had to have taken him several days, about 300 miles from Ramses to Midian. And I just feel like when you can see, like, it was a long travel. He went through deserts and mountains to get there. Now, I want to have a little disclaimer specifically just for this Torah portion, is that a lot of these locations, we don't know exactly for sure where they are. This is, for me, this is the best research that I could find. And this is why I chose this particular map and to draw for you and for locations. And so then back and forth, Midian, Mount Sinai, you'll color those different. And anyway, it's just a kind of a walkthrough. And down here, I explain a little bit of where I found the research, so you guys can go and research for yourself. So down here are just some activities. I tried to make things kind of a meal that's sort of based around the Torah portion. So while you're eating, it's just another way to bring up conversation. Like, this is my shepherd's pie. It does not have lamb in it. You can substitute lamb for sure. It's just lamb is so expensive. And I do have lamb coming up in a future Torah portion. So it's my shepherd's pie. But just talking about Moses and how he was a shepherd, and that leading him to commune with God in a private place. And then y'all, I had a hard time trying to find a dessert that had to do with the desert. And I was like, I came across this one site where they had made ice cream cones. It looks like cactuses. I was like, that's so fantastic. Now we don't eat we don't eat any sugar. We have some autoimmune issues. So this is my nice cream, which is sugar-free. So it's not very pretty, but y'all can go out and get a scoop of mint chocolate chip or something to make them look a little bit prettier and more authentic. You would not offend me. And then the wilderness stew. And then you can say to your kids, like, why is this called wilderness stew? And like, I know, why do you think it's called wilderness stew? And maybe that will bring up a little bit of conversation about wandering through the wilderness and Moses' long journey to Midian. And then, of course, the burning bush activity. I just thought these were beautiful. And if you put them in a jar, you can even do little baby food jars and do a tiny little one, and just make a bunch and make them, little pretty jars. This is what these sections are for, to really just make it more alive and engaging. This is really what it's all about, is passing this down to our children and engaging the next generation so that they can engage the next. I hope this will bless your family. I'm very excited to hear about how your Shabbats went. If you guys have any pictures of your activities or your map work, I would love to see those too. You can send them to me at shannon@thestateHomeFamily.com or on Facebook as I am Shannon M. Blackwell. But I'm really excited. I hope this really opens up the Bible for you and your family, that it will engage you guys in awesome discussion and just really kind of see the Bible from a whole new perspective. Anyway, have a great Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom from the Blackwells.